more slides, but I just wanted to acknowledge that the work Sati has been doing for the past 20 years is with transgender and LGBTI groups in Manipur, Meghalaya, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, in many other places in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, West Bengal, etc. So it's only because of working with all these communities, and many transgender people are also there who are part of Sati's staff at all levels. We have LGBTIQ people from the trustee onwards to the field worker. So we have been working with the community for a long time, and which is why we are able to engage with the medical system, engage with the legal system, etc. So I'm just taking a short minute to put up some more slides, but do you have any questions so far? Any questions? I'm just going to go into the law in a little more detail. Yeah, please.
Sir, I am from prison department.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a particular problem, as we said, you should not check the like genitals of the prisoner.
I'm not saying Home Ministry is saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The problem is that every prisoner comes into the jail, says that I'm innocent. A lot of work has been done by police department, and then they have booked a case actually. Every prisoner enters the premises of prisons and say that I am innocent. And the same is the case with the transgenders also.
Correct.
They say that, we say that you are a man or woman, trans woman or trans man. They say something, but it's other way.
How do you know it's the other way around?
That is it. So what we do is that we consult the doctor, residential doctor is said, and then we check them, and then we ascertain them, and then we keep them as whatever the directive.
Okay, so what do you expect to find if you did a medical examination of a transgender person? What do you expect?
I did not get it.
So if you say a person comes and says, I'm a transgender woman,
Yeah.
and you give that person to the doctor,
Yeah.
what is the doctor looking for?
Yeah, for genitals.
Okay, so genitals do not make the person's gender. The mind makes the person's gender. Supreme Court of India in 2014 said, looking for proof of surgery or proof of hormone levels is illegal and immoral. You have to only go by self-definition. So you saw in that video we showed before lunch, there were people who looked like girls. They had not started taking male hormones. Some of them had not even cut their hair. But they were trans men because they were feeling like girls regardless of their body parts. So gender is different from sex. So a person is transgender even if their body parts are 100% male, or the person is transgender even if their body parts are 100% female. So you cannot tell by their body parts whether they are male or female or intersex or transgender. So you just have to respect their identity. And I'm not saying you should not do body search. So body search may be done as a routine procedure, but don't do body search to see what body parts they have, because that is not a reliable indicator of whether the person is transgender or not. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. So incidentally, this drawing was done by somebody from the LGBTIQ community. Okay, so I told you there were two things you had to remember. One is that if you are an adult and you are in a consensual relationship, it's not a crime as per 2018 Navtej Johar judgment. Also, transgender person can identify as a woman, man or transgender. And this is as per the NALSA 2014 and as per the Transgender Act that came out in 2019, any transgender individual can apply online the Ministry of Social Justice website saying that I want my ID to change from male to female or male to transgender or female to male or female to transgender, and the ID will be issued by the district collector. The district collector only has to look at the validity of the birth certificate or other government ID. The name will be different. For the change of name, they will just have to give an affidavit, and I can walk people through the procedure. But any transgender person in India, as long as they have access to internet or some organization that can help them to access internet, can get an identity as in any one of these three categories. Yeah. And actually there is a difference between the Trans Act and the Trans Rules. According to the Trans Act, if you are applying for a certificate, you can apply for a certificate only as transgender, as T. But if you have had a surgery, then you can apply for a certificate as F. If you're male to female, then you have to show proof of surgery, or female to male, you have to show proof of surgery. But that itself got revised. And if you look at the final version of the rules that came out in September 2020, to change from male to female or change from female to male, you need a doctor's letter. It's not necessarily a surgeon's letter. It can be a certificate from a clinical psychologist or a doctor, psychiatrist, which says this individual has gender dysphoria or gender incongruence. So gender dysphoria, earlier doctor mentioned, is basically you are feeling uncomfortable with your body and you feel of a different gender. So as long as a clinical specialist assesses that document is enough to get a transgender ID as female or male. Okay, there may be some more questions which we can answer later. But I also want to highlight that after 2018, there have been many high court rulings supportive of the community. So in 2018, after 2018, nearly 25 cases came where couples, two men or a trans man and a female partner, or a trans woman and a male partner, ran away from home. They were all adults, and the parents filed a charge of a case of abduction against the partner. In all the high court cases, the judges rule that they have the right to leave home and live on their own. Then there is one high court ruling from 2019 that says if you're a transgender woman and you are Hindu, you can actually marry a man under the Hindu Marriage Act. In Kerala and Madras high courts, there are court rulings that say this conversion therapy, where a doctor will tell the parents, your gay child is abnormal, I will cure him, or your transgender child, I'll make the child not transgender. This is considered to be a professional misconduct. They can lose their license. And after Kerala and Madras High Court verdicts, it's across the country. It's a circular by National Medical Commission. Also, the children which have intersex variations, right? I showed you some children whose body parts are neither fully male nor fully female. Doing a surgery on that infant is banned. Again, it's banned right now only in Tamil Nadu, and people are advocating to ban it all over the country. One more very important ruling from a district court in Kerala, and I think there's also Bombay High Court, is if a trans woman is facing domestic violence, either from her parents or from a male partner, she can seek the protection, she can seek the remedy under the PWDVA, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. So this was a High Court ruling in 2022 and also a District Court ruling in 2022. So these are some of the important rulings. I'm going to talk about the entire history very briefly. So the entire LGBTIQ rights was first spoken about in the court in 2009 when Delhi High Court said, it's not a crime to be in a relationship with somebody of the same gender or for a transgender person. Unfortunately, Supreme Court overturned that in 2013. But again, that was like a 2-judge bench. But a 5-judge bench in 2018, a 5-judge bench overturned that. So what we have from 2018 with the Navtej Singh Johar is the same as what Delhi High Court ruled in 2009, that as long as a consenting adult, it's not a crime. Apart from that, we have the Nalsa verdict of 2014. Now, there is a misunderstanding of the Nalsa verdict. Many people think that all transgender people should be considered as third gender. This is not right also. Third gender, some transgender people may consider. Some may consider themselves to be women. Some may consider themselves to be men. All of that is permissible. Okay. Then also there was a very important Supreme Court ruling called the right to privacy. It was in 2017. In that ruling also, the Supreme Court judge ruled that questioning somebody for their different sexual orientation or doing a body search to see what body parts they have is a violation of the right to privacy. So you cannot send somebody for a medical examination to find out whether they are transgender or not, because first of all, their body parts will not tell you. Gender is between your ears and not between your legs. And second, whether you have had surgery or not, you can be transgender. So just please remember this. Okay, now I want to give one quote from the 2009 verdict where the judges AP Shah and Muralidhar cited Dr. Ambedkar to make a distinction between what is called popular morality and constitutional morality. So basically what they said is, and what Dr. Ambedkar said is that the public may consider something to be moral or immoral. Public may consider gay to be wrong or transgender to be wrong. But as a constitution, you have to ask the question, is it a violation of the constitution? So something could be very immoral as per the public, but it may still be moral as per the constitution. So popular morality or public disapproval of certain acts is not a valid justification for restriction of fundamental rights. Popular morality, as distinct from constitutional morality derived from constitutional values, is based on shifting and subjecting notions of right and wrong. If there's any type of morality that can pass the test of compelling state interest, it must be constitutional morality and not public morality. Like, for example, there may be public morality declared that women should jump into the fire if their husbands were lost, or they should wear white saris and not go out. But the constitutional morality says you do not have to do any of that. And we go ultimately with the constitutional morality. So think of it the same way. Maybe your religion says being homosexuality is a sin, or being transgender is against nature, etc. But you can have your private opinions to yourself. But if your child is gay, lesbian, bisexual, or whatever, do not violate the child's rights. And as a member of the law enforcement, also make sure that rights are safeguarded. Okay, so I'm just going to speak a little bit about what has happened in the last 5 years, which is relevant to all of us. So after 2018, the Supreme Court verdict came. 2 years after that, COVID came. We also had the Transgender Act. So many changes have happened. Nearly 20 cases were filed in various high courts across the country. And in all the high courts, the judges said two people living together, whether it's two men or two women, or trans man and trans woman, or trans man and woman, all of that is not illegal. So that was one important thing. Also, this case is, this is a man, Arun Kumar, and the person to his right is Shrija, who is a transgender woman, and they actually got married in a temple with the approval of the temple priest. But when they went to the registrar to get it, the marriage registered, the registrar said, no way, you're a transgender woman, it's not possible. And that was where this ruling came in Arun Kumar and Shrija versus Inspector General of Registration, saying if she's a Hindu woman, she can marry a Hindu man, and the word bride should be expanded to include transgender bride. Okay, so in that same judgment, the Justice Swaminathan said the surgery on intersex people should also be banned, because that woman was not only transgender, she was also intersex. Then this is an important policy level change. In 2019, actually Sati worked towards this. In 2017, India passed the Mental Health Care Act, which is actually a very good act, and it also protects the mental health of LGBTIQ people. All the states in the country are trying to change their state mental health policy to keep current with the Mental Health Care Act. And we were actually able to work with NHM, National Health Mission, and the Department of Health and Family Welfare, where we have a lot of content about protection of mental health of LGBTIQ people. It'll be nice if something like that is also done in Andhra Pradesh. Some other changes, we were able to include transgender health in nursing curriculum. We were able to get the Tamil Nadu to ban the surgeries on infants. So we were part of the expert committee that framed the GO after the High Court verdict came. Also, in the last 4 or 5 years, many of the medical organizations like Indian Psychiatric Society have given public statements that you should not change gay person using conversion therapy. You have to support LGBTIQ people. From a medical perspective, there is nothing wrong with them. Okay. Now, yeah.
Conversion therapy, now they are telling that we oppose conversion therapy.
Yeah.
Can you just highlight on that, sir? What is conversion
Okay.
therapy and why are they objecting it?
Okay.
Because,
Okay. So conversion therapy is where the doctors, it's actually not even therapy, it's like a fake remedy, will say that if a man is attracted to men, they will take them into the clinic, they will show them photographs of men and give them an electric shock. And they'll show them photographs of women and not give them an electric shock. So by this, they think that the man will start associating other men with an unpleasant shock and will stop showing attraction to men. And they give shock therapy, they do all kinds of things. They give a high load of antidepressant medication, which will completely destroy any sexual desire you have. So this is what is called conversion therapy. A transgender person who wants a surgery That is not conversion therapy. That is called gender affirming therapy. And that is legal. And in fact, the government has said, just like they said every state should have trans protection cell in all districts, they've also said that every state headquarters should have one medical college hospital that offers the surgery by September 2022. And so far, only Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu have the hospitals. So some more work for us to do here in Andhra Pradesh.
Also has started.
Yeah, they have now started. Yes, yes. Okay. Anjana Harish is a young 22-year-old woman from Kerala who is a bisexual woman. She's attracted to men and women. Her parents objected to it. They sent her for conversion therapy. They gave her shock. They gave her all kinds of chemicals. She could not stand it. She went away from home and hung herself with a rope and killed herself. So after that, only the LGBTIQ community filed a case in Kerala High Court, as a result of which the judge said conversion therapy should be banned. And many of these practices are done by licensed MBBS MD doctors. So now if we know any MBBS MD doctor who's doing this, we straight away call them and say, we are going to report you and your license will be revoked. And then immediately within 1 hour, they'll discharge them. So just keep your eyes open for these kinds of practices. So this is about that particular case. This is one very important case with which I'm going to conclude. In 2 years ago, in 2021, a lesbian couple, 2 young women aged 21, from a temple town called Madurai in Tamil Nadu, fell in love with each other. The parents found out about it. They were very upset, very angry. They separated the 2 girls and tried to get them married to men. Girls meaning they're adults. So they ran away from home and they came off to Chennai. The parents were very influential with the local police. So the parents and the police came in 3 Innovas all the way to Chennai. They caught the 2 women. The people who were trying to help these women, they said they'll put charges of trafficking against them. So these women filed a case which is called Sushma and Seema, or Sushma and Another versus Commissioner of Police, where the Justice Anand Venkatesh, he is the person here in the middle, in the photograph on the right, sitting next to me. So he basically said that the harassment of LGBTIQ people, including transgender people, but also lesbian, gay, bisexual, should not be done. And the parents should support the children. The judiciary should be trained on LGBTIQ issues. The people who run the shelter homes, people who operate the suicide hotlines, all of these people should be sensitized on LGBTIQ issues. So he and I together done the training for all judiciary across Tamil Nadu. And we have done about 200 lawyers of the district legal service authorities. And we've also done the Tamil Nadu Police Academy training. So because of that, so he was a judge, he's like 56, 57. He did not know anything about LGBT when this case came to him. And then apparently he decided he needed to learn first. So he went and met a psychologist who explained to them. And then he also went and met members of the community who explained. So some of us were in the meeting with him. This was all during COVID, so it was all on Zoom. He said, what does the community want? Is it only parental acceptance? And we said, no, the problem is not only parental acceptance, it's also bullying in school. It is also the bad treatment they get in the healthcare. It is also the inability to find employment in the workplace, etc. So he said, give all your demands and we'll put it in the order. So he's put some nearly 12 things in the order. Some of them that I want to share here, which you can think about doing. For police and prison authorities, these are the interim orders. Programs at regular intervals on steps to be taken for protection from and prevention of offenses against LGBTQIA community. Conduct sensitization about legal rights of the community. Apart from this, you also, the Transgender Act says you have to do certain trainings. So that should also be done. And outreach programs to be conducted by NGOs with community support to put forth first-hand problems faced in the hands of the law enforcement agencies, and ensure that transgender and gender non-conforming prisoners are housed separately from the non-transgender prisoners. They have also given directions for DLSA and SLSA to conduct programs regularly and give free legal aid. Because if you look at the list of communities offered free legal aid, like people with disability, women, prisoners, etc., transgender is not officially included. So a few states, Haryana, Odisha, Manipur, and now Tamil Nadu, have amended the state rules of the Legal Services Act to include transgender people. This is also something you can think of doing locally. And then they also are conducting Lok Adalat specifically for the problems of the LGBTIQA community, and all the judicial officers now are sensitized. So apart from that, there are many things other than law. For example, many of the medical textbooks, the information they have on LGBTIQA is very outdated. So he has also asked for the textbooks to be changed to classify conversion therapy as professional misconduct, make sure that the shelter homes are accessible to all. So here, there are many women couples who run away from home. And once they go to the one-stop shelter, and if they are running away from violent family or violent husband, they will go into the shelter. But if they say they're lesbian, then the one-stop shelter is not very aware and they'll try and send them back to the parents. So Justice Anand Venkatesh said that they should also be sensitized. And the Ministry of Social Justice has funded 12 shelter homes for transgender people. I don't think there is one in AP, but I think there may be one in Telangana. These should be open to all LGBTIQA individuals. And they also said because many children drop out of school, we should sensitize the teachers and parents through the Parent Teachers Association. Also, one module is developed by NCERT, National Council for Education, Research and Training, for training of teachers. And I was one of like 10 people who developed this module. This should also be rolled out in Tamil Nadu, but if you all want to roll out in other states, we can share the module. So there are a lot of these things where so he gave his orders, but then the government did not respond to the orders immediately. So we raised awareness. Even this is an international British medical journal where we wrote articles saying how the medical institutions should change their textbook with unscientific content. What are the barriers faced by the community in the healthcare system? So as a result of all of these efforts, now the curriculum has changed for 2 subjects, psychiatry and forensic medicine, and conversion therapy has been banned. Also, we have a mandate to train 1 lakh school teachers in just this year on LGBTIQ. This is another High Court order. And this is the notice to all the state medical councils and all registered medical practitioners that they should not do conversion therapy. Okay, in 2019, we had the Transgender Act. Actually, it came 5 years after the Supreme Court verdict. And there was a lot of controversy because nobody liked the bill, etc. But finally, the act came. And then even in the act, there was a problem saying you need proof of surgery. That was amended in the rules. So now what it is if anybody comes to you saying they want to legally they change their name and gender, you can go to the website of the ministry. You just go to Google Ministry Social Justice Transgender. You'll get the website and you can help them to get an affidavit, notarize it, upload it. If they want to change from male to female or female to male, they also need a psychiatrist letter. And within 30 days, the district magistrate is supposed to issue the letter. Now, in many states, it is taking a long time, 3 months, 4 months, etc. The district magistrate or collector is saying, bring me surgery proof, which again is against the rules. So here is also work where we need to support the district magistrate because many of them are dealing with hundreds of issues. You can't expect them to remember all the rules and all the points regarding transgender. So that has to be taken care of. Another big issue across the country is the demand for horizontal reservation. I'm going to end with this. So we know what is horizontal reservation. Within each caste category, reservation for transgender people. So right now, Karnataka has implemented 1% of reservation for transgender people within SC, within ST, within MBC, within OBC, etc. So that you're only competing with transgender people from your same caste category. This is another activity that is going on nationally because people understand that unless transgender people have access to education and employment, the community will not be uplifted. This recently, last November, we did a module and we trained all the Supreme Court judges on LGBTIQ issues. This is the module we developed. I'm going to share it with Madam to share with all of you. And just 2 slides on transgender persons in prisons based on the circular from the Ministry of Home Affairs that came out in January 10th, 2022. So a person, I'm just highlighting what's in red, a person recognized as a transgender person under the provisions of the said act shall have a right to self-perceived gender identity, whether as female, male or transgender. So you cannot have a doubt, is this a fake hijra, is this a real hijra, is it a real transgender, is it a man pretending to be a woman? You have to respect their self-identity. Now this is going to be a problem because even within the hijra communities, when there are fights, they will say, oh, those people are fake. They are just men pretending to be hijras to come and get our money. So you have to go by the constitution and you go by the act of parliament. Okay. And separate toilets for trans men and trans women, separate cells, separate shower facilities. Also, the admission form in the prison, the roster, the register, you have to revise that. Apart from male and female, you have trans male and trans female. So trans male are people who are assigned female at birth, who identify as men. Trans female are people assigned male at birth, who identify as women. And important, the search procedure should be confined to compliance with security protocols and restriction of contraband, and should not be aimed at determining the gender of the person. This is the point that I was trying to make. So I'm going to conclude with this slide. Okay, we've seen that the community has many, many needs. There are needs in healthcare. There are needs pertaining to legal rights. There are needs pertaining to education, needs pertaining to livelihood, needs pertaining to social welfare and social protection, and needs pertaining to families. We can't tackle all of them, but if you have one arm of the government, or like, for example, you have the police or the legal service authority, which has taken the lead, with their help, we can sensitize all other departments. For example, Manipur, we started in 2014 with the state legal service authority. So after that, the state legal service authority member secretary took the role of organizing meetings with health, with social welfare, with rural development and Panchayati Raj, with all the different ministries, all the different departments, to sensitize them around transgender and LGBTIQ issues. So I'm giving a big hint to madam, please try to do something like this. Yes. So I'm stopping here. Thank you very much for your time and patience. Open to questions. Yeah. Lights.
Any questions?
Sir, this is Harshita sir. I'm DSP Disha Parvati sir. Sir, small doubt regarding this. Sir, due to this birth and their mental perceptions, what they perceive their sex to be, that is different things. And again, regarding hormones, you discussed about something like X and XY. Right?
No, that is chromosomes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Yes, genetic
Yeah.
chromosomes, karyotyping.
Yeah.
Sir, my doubt is like there will be some genetic disorders in karyotyping, like XXY, Turner mosaic syndrome.
Yeah, Klinefelter's, Turner's, mosaic. Those are all considered to be intersex variations and not transgender. So the term called congenital transgender is wrong. There's only transgender and there's intersex people. Now, if an intersex child is born and the parents raise the child as a girl, but the child later identifies as a boy, regardless of the intersex condition, the child is transgender. Because of the intersex condition, the child is also intersex.
But nothing to do with this type of chromosomes.
For transgender, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
karyotyping results. Any
So-
effect of karyotyping result
No.
in deciding whether they are transgenders or not? That is my
No, the karyotyping will tell you the person is intersex or not. And intersex person, if you look at the transgender community, maybe less than 10% are intersex. Majority of them, over 90%, are not intersex. So we cannot say that it's excess of hormones or genetic disorder. We really don't know. But before, people used to consider this as a disorder. World Health Organization itself has removed the classification of gender identity disorder. They've replaced it with a new category called gender incongruence. So yeah, so you cannot say this is because of hormones. This is because your mother had too much soya milk, or because your father beat your mother. None of these reasons. Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Sir. Sir, I'm Jairam, DSP Disha Parvati.
Use the mic.
A person comes to me and asks that I want a transgender identity. How should I guide him? As you told, there is a need of psychiatric evaluation, and based on that, district magistrate will give the certificate.
Yes.
It is for issue of search.
Yeah. So if the person says they want to change their name and gender, first you ask them, what is your legal gender and what gender do you want to change. So for example, legally they were classified as male because they were born with male body parts. You explain to them that you have two options. You can change your gender to F or you can change your gender to T. If they want to change their gender to T, they just have to go online. They have to get a 10 rupee non-judicial stamp paper affidavit, get it notarized, upload it along with Aadhaar card or other identity documents. So I'll just go to this file. I'll show you how you do this. So okay, so National Portal for Transgender Persons, the first link that comes up on the website. Maybe this slide can be reduced. Yeah. Yeah. So you can just go to this website if it works. Okay. Okay, the internet is slow, but basically you can go here. There'll be a portal saying apply for transgender ID card. Here we go. So this is the website. So here you have transgender certificates and ID cards. You click there and it will ask the person to create an ID with an OTP.
Can I add some points?
Yeah.
I'm Sister Amita. I work for Transgender Empowerment, and we exclusively work towards their life document.
You want to add this gender identity certificate?
Huh?
Yeah.
So,
Sir, you have completed your explanation on identity.
Not yet.
just tell
అమ్మా,
them.
అంటే సార్ కంప్లీట్ చేయనివ్వండి కూర్చోండి తర్వాత సార్
Yeah. Okay, my sister, please go ahead and explain.
Yeah.
There's something to add, I'll add.
I'm not adding any other point. Since Sir asked about the transgender identity card, I want to just give you explanation. Because we exclusively work for transgenders like documents, their relation, pension, and transgender identity card. To apply for transgender identity card, it is little complicated process. There are actually two things are there: applicant login and registration. First, you have to open the registration, and then you have to create email ID password for them, and then you have to enter the registration login. Then you open there and you create a ID for these transgenders. So this ID will go to their particular email ID which you have created.
It's going a little bit slowly.
So there is a registration is there, no? There you have to first click and open it. Before you could open that, you have to create email ID and password for each transgender. So once you create email ID and password, then you open the registration. Then you have to give the person's details, email ID and password. And this particular ministry will send a link to that particular email ID. And then you click on that, then it will direct you to the same portal, wherein you have to give new password, and then ID is created for transgenders. So once ID is created, you need to take their Aadhaar card, their photo, their signature, and their affidavit. Affidavit from the notary paper you have to take from the lawyer. So before that we used to take for 10 rupees and 20 rupees notary paper, but now it is not available. You have to do the e-notary, something newly they have introduced. We don't get any more notary papers, stamp papers, sorry. Stamp papers we don't get. Now we have e-stamp papers, wherein they do lawyer has to do that notary and give us the paper. And then again we open that link and upload each document. All the details are asked about the person, their name, their gender, all the informations. At the same time, they will also ask what that person want to name themselves. For example, till now I am Suresh. So if you want to, since they are transitioning to become a woman, if they want to keep Sumati, then you will write their Sumati, because preferred name also they will ask. So you need to upload their Aadhaar, their photo, their signature, all these things, and then you upload it. Then after some time, actually it is supposed to give us in 30 days, but it takes 5 months, 6 months, because ADs are going on changing for each district. But the process is little complicated. Transgenders won't be able to do by themselves. So from our Neethodu society, it's a non-governmental organization. we do that process and give for them in Vishakhapatnam as well as all the coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh or whichever district who are approaches us we do. But it is a little lengthy and complicated process. Those who don't know it will not be able to do and give for them. But you could call the NGOs or anybody who is working on this particular thing and help them.
Thank you very much. What you explained was 100% correct, provided the person wants to get an ID as transgender. If they want to get an ID as a woman, there is one additional step where they have to get a certificate from the psychiatrist and upload that along with the affidavit. It is, madam, that is under section 7. So what you have talked about is the section 6 procedure to get an ID as a transgender person. So male to M to T or F to T. But if you want to do M to F or F to M, it will ask you to upload a doctor certificate. Huh?
Superintendent certificate.
Yeah, it does not, according to the act, it was superintendent's certificate,
Yes.
but according to the rules, it can be any letter, private doctor or public doctor in India or abroad. It does not have to be a superintendent. It does not have to be a dean. It does not have to be the head of a department. Anybody can give a certificate saying, this person has consulted me. This person's biological sex was male. The person identifies as woman. Therefore, the person may be considered as a woman for the purpose of issuing certificate under section 6, under section 7 of Trans Act. So everything you said plus one more step.
If they undergo surgery.
No, that's what I'm trying to say repeatedly. You do not need to have surgery to get the certificate as a woman. That's what the act said, but it's been overruled by the rules, which says that as long as you have this medical certificate, even from a psychiatrist, it is enough to change. Okay, but then this should be taken. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. If they can, it's fine, but they do not need to have had surgery to change their gender. That's my bottom line. Okay, and they can actually apply for 5 national schemes. There's education scholarship pre-metric, education scholarship post-metric, vocational training, and a pension at age 40. And if a parent has a transgender child, they can apply for 1,000 rupees per month. This is basically an incentive to make sure the child is not kicked out of the house and kept in the house. These are 5 central schemes called SMILE scheme that you can apply directly to the ministry for. And then I don't know state level what schemes are available. Maybe somebody can share.
Deputy Director sir will speak, sir. Next
Okay,
slide, sir.
fine. Okay, thank you, everyone.
So, sir, in the ID certificate,
Yeah.
I've seen one certificate from Telangana, they have given us women. That's what I was asking to Assistant Director Madam also, she was telling the same. And in Andhra Pradesh, whatever ID card I have come across, they have given us transgender only. I was asking the Assistant Director ma'am, is there anything like we are doing it or they themselves are declaring it so?
Sometimes transgender people do not know
Yeah.
that they have the option to
Yes.
get the certificate as woman. They just get it as transgender.
Vivek Garu, ACP Vizag, then he went out. In that case, what happens, sir, in Ariloa police station, the gender ID card displays that she's a transgender, not a woman. There I had doubt and I was disturbing you on that day. It was not given as women.
Yeah.
But in Telangana, I've observed some ID cards where they have mentioned it as female. So if it is mentioned as female, we can easily invoke section 354 IPC, right? But in our ID cards, అంటే నేను మొన్న చూసిన దాంట్లో ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని ఉంది. అసిస్టెంట్ డైరెక్టర్ మేడం నేను అదే అడిగాను. ఈ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ కానీ విమెన్ కానీ ఎవరు డిక్లేర్ చేస్తారమ్మా అంటే మేడం ఇస్ టెల్లింగ్ అది వాళ్ళు ఆన్లైన్ లో అప్లై చేసుకునేటప్పుడు దే హావ్ టు డిక్లేర్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్ యాస్ ఎ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ ఆర్ వుమెన్ ఆర్ మెన్. అంతే కదమ్మా?
One more thing.
Self-declaration.
Yeah, self-declaration. And yeah, so as sister was saying, many of them do not have that knowledge. So the NGOs can also explain to them. I think a lot of the transgender community members have the wrong notion that only if you have transgender on your ID will you be eligible for government schemes.
Yes.
This is wrong. Even if you have the
Deputy
female
Director sir will
or
say,
male,
explain.
issued by the ministry and signed by the district magistrate, you're still eligible for the government schemes.
So, అందులో even if it is men or women also, they are eligible for the scheme.
As long as that man or woman is issued by as long as it's called as transgender ID card. So transgender ID card, gender male. You take that, you go to your Aadhaar, UIDA will allow you to get your Aadhaar in mail, your PAN, then you can get your PAN, election, everything changed to mail.
But even if she is male or female, the act will apply to that, no sir?
Yeah.
She is declaring herself as
Yeah,
female.
yeah.
But still the act section 18 will
Whether they
apply
call,
to that.
yeah, absolutely.
ఇది క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది కదండి. ఇందులో నాకు డౌట్ ఉంది యాక్చువల్లీ. ఐడి కార్డ్ లో ఒకవేళ ఫీమేల్ అని పెట్టుకుంటే వాళ్ళ పెన్షన్ సపోర్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఏపీ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇస్ దేర్ వస్తుందా రాదా, ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ నుంచి సపోర్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో వస్తుందా రాదా, ఇది నాకు డౌట్ ఉంది. బట్ వాట్ సర్ సేస్ ఇస్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ ఐడి కార్డ్ అని ఉన్నంత వరకు మెన్ అని ఉన్నా ఫీమేల్ అని ఉన్నా ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని ఉన్నా ఆల్ బెనిఫిట్ విల్ కమ్. నెంబర్ 1. నెంబర్ 2, ఒకవేళ ఆ ఐడి కార్డ్ లో ఫీమేల్ అని ఉంటే మాత్రమే 354 ఐపీసీ వర్తిస్తుందా, ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని ఉంటే వర్తించదా? దిస్ ఇస్ ద డౌట్. ఆ కేస్ మన క్లాసిక్ కేస్ లో అదే ఉంది. ఈవెన్ ఇన్ దట్ సర్ సేస్ దట్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ ఐడి కార్డ్ ఉన్నంత వరకు సెక్షన్ 18 ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ రైట్స్ యాక్ట్ అనేది వర్తిస్తుంది. ఓకేనండి, సో ఇది క్లియర్. సో ఐడి కార్డులో ఫీమేల్ మేల్ అని ఓన్లీ హర్ ఐడెంటిటీ అంతే. మేల్ ఉన్నా ఫీమేల్ ఉన్నా ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ ఉన్నా బెనిఫిట్స్ వస్తాయి. So she or he is eligible. Yeah, please. That is what Sir Ramki sir was telling. 2019 Act లో surgery certificate కావాలి. కానీ 2020 Act లో there is no need of 2020 rules లో 2020 rules లో
No, it was the Act
2020 rules. So rules లో there is no need of for surgery. That is what
So you need a certificate of gender incongruence or gender dysphoria given by a psychiatrist or even a clinical psychologist.
Any other questions, queries, doubts, things like that? No? Thank you so much, Dr. Ramki sir.
And please feel free to reach out later.
But we need that presentation, whatever it is,
It's all-
and even the criteria also, so that I share to all my officers on the platform. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So again, a word of gratitude to Dr. Ramki sir for enlightening us on so many issues, and sir has also accepted for online presentation, online trainings whenever required, but we have to take his prior appointment because he is having his own busy schedule. Sir, we'll invite you online also whenever we have some doubts, because CID is conducting many trainings online also. They have to come from far off places. Thank you so much once again, sir. Now I request Dr. Vijay Raman, Deputy Director, Voluntary Health Services Projects Division, to speak on policy level changes for transgender community in India.
లేదు సార్ ఇది కార్డ్లెస్
Good evening to everyone. The evening time is really boring time. But at the same time, I can say that already Dr. Rafi and Ramki have spoken many other things. Whatever I say is maybe a repetition, but I don't want to repeat some of the things. And most of the policies also covered by Ramki, even Smiley. One thing I want to say that whenever I be part of this kind of program, I feel happy
because we be traveling with transgenders and trans women from LGBT community more than 30 years. So you might have since morning. I should thank Madam for organizing this kind of program continuously to pre-program VHS part of that. Thank you very much. This is very much essential because this sensation and the knowledge level for all the department people is very much essential. We know very well that even irrespective of the independence, so many years, transgender got independence by 2014. There is after Nalsa judgment. Then only they will, then after that judgment only people recognize as a third, even third gender. Please note it down. After the judgment, most of the states, the acts not been implemented till today. Some of the states started, some of the states come up with some policy, but still there are a lot of struggle to get their due rights. That is the current situation actually. Dr. Ramki may have said all the legal part. But I will come out with some of the policies. I am from VHS. VHS is one of the oldest institution that is 1958. Actually, it's been around 60 years old organization located in Chennai. It's a multi-specialty hospital. The current president is former election commissioner Kobal and I is the current president. Kamala's former secretary, health secretary is the president of the institution. Why I am telling this? From this background, VHS being part of HIV program more than 30 years. From since the beginning, VHS part of that. Why I am using the HIV program? HIV program is the one program brought up hidden population transgender. Thanks to HIV program. Because of HIV, transgender being identified as a high risk group, they are all hidden nature. Then HIV NGOs, government has come with identifying the transgenders who are not visible till that time. Even does he know who are they? So I always thankful to HIV program. See, this is about, I don't want to take much of my time. Go to second slide. Okay. Archana might share to you their life story. These are all their problems. They got mental trauma, teasing, exploitation at every level, family as well as society, stigma, self as well as social stigma. This is all, some of the communities even they go for the suicidal tendency. Then difficult, even today, they are difficult to access government services. Though there is act, but still there are a lot of challenges because of the stigma, discrimination, exclusion, denial of the rights. Why all this? Anyone of you can say? Why they are discriminating by the society, by family? Anybody? Why? That is not a problem. Because these people think that they are women. Family is not accepting that. Society also not accepting that gender identity. That is the problem, whole problem comes. Am I correct? She thinks that I am woman, but we are not ready to accept that. Then conflicts arise, discrimination starts from family, then end with every level. That is the situation. That's what I always tell them. There are so many, nowadays, so many people are in different social status. But irrespective of that, they are underserved. Next slide. When you say, I think, Ramki, you may cover this. No? So I don't want to repeat this. This is Act. Actually, Transgender Protection Act. It covered all the schemes and policies. So I don't want to repeat the same. Go to next slide. Now let me stop. This act all comes when Transgender Protection Act 2019. But there was lot of process. I am taking different phases. Before act, after act. Or I can say before NALSA judgment, after NALSA judgment. This is Tamil Nadu policy level changes before NALSA judgment. Where I am using that word, Tamil Nadu was the pioneer for so many policy level changes. Tax, VHS, part of the so many policy level changes in the state along with our CDOs and NGOs in Tamil Nadu. So some of the Tamil Nadu was the first state come out with teacher welfare board before Act comes. Then we celebrated Transgender Day. Before Transgender, everybody celebrated. Even I can say BHS along with our CEOs celebrated January 18th as a TG Day. Because that day all our Dhamma community leaders joined together and asked us, there is a Teachers' Day, there is a Children's Day, why can't we have our? Then we decided, okay, January is the today we convey. We can start January 18th as a Transgender Day. Then they also been converted as a 1 week event. Like tea plantation, blood donation, something involving traffic regulation, involve this community into social event so that we try to get the respect from the society. From there, then we come to using this opportunity, went to government, we met along with our community, met the then Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, before the election, we asked there should be a Transgender Day. Unfortunately, the TG Welfare Board started April 15. Then we started seeing the day we consider as a Transgender Day. We started celebrating before TG Act. Fortunately, TG Act also followed April 15.
That's great coincidence.
It's a coincidence. So Tamil Nadu started celebrating Transgender Day April 15 for many years before. When Act came, then we celebrated as National Transgender Day. We used this opportunity. Then fortunately we have served more than 18 states. So every state we converted, like even today, first 2 years we celebrated, even Pondicherry, third celebration done by the government. Government themselves started doing, even today they are celebrating by government itself. Another important thing is, we celebrate lot of policy level. Everybody knows the NALSA. NALSA started identifying transgender as a paralegal one. Protect their rights. Then there are other programs in Tamil Nadu, gender transition related services like garment therapy, SRS related services by the government. Then one more thing is, since it's the police, we are involving police and other things. Some of the policies what we took, we identify community as a trainer, master trainers. The police, we know, sorry I used to say, there was a complaint from communities, always police harassment. We can't carry condom, we can't use anything. Every time there was a complaint from the community. Then we spoken to that time SAT, come out with the policy. We trained our community as a master trainer to train the police. So that we started recognizing them as a they improved self-esteem as well as some social. Then later on they become so friendly with our community. After 3 years, the police harassment has come down drastically. Partner harassment has been increased. That was outside. Then there are also needed lot of sensations for all the stakeholders, media, judiciary, police, even parents. Sometimes we do recognize parents who are accepting transgender in the big events. Whenever we invite some city actors, some policy makers, we do invite them, recognize them, then started accepting and following. So that is another some of the things. Then we started lawyers forum. We not only sensitized the lawyers, but also we created lawyers forum to support transgenders. So that you know very well, sometimes lawyers exploit people like anything that time. After this, so many lawyers supported them for whenever any issues, crisis. Then there are other, and also there are some events like every event converted like a 0.7 changes. Every year, nearly 2-3 events being conducted by transgenders. We are always take the back seat. When we are taking back seat, we try to project their talents in the public. That is as part of that. Birds of South Asia Books of Record. We conducted 6-year transgenders cultural event. It became the record of South Asia Books of Records. This kind of event we always invite the policy makers, come with various policies. That is the approaches we do. And also mental health component, and also livelihood training program. The livelihood also we never take it as an income generation program. We always use this livelihood for their increasing their self-esteem, social acceptance. Today I will be called as a sex offense. After training and taking training of beautician, they call as beautician, not sex offense. That is the way we change their social status, recognition. That is the way. Next slide. This is about Tamil Nadu that time. This is all remaining status. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. This is I will come there. That is for the physics involved with all the parliamentarian. We are talking about, TG Acts. Before the TG Acts, there was a private bills. 1960, there was a private bill. The first discussion happened at VHS along with Peocedural with our community. They come out with draft bill. Then they got to Rajya Sabha as there was the first private bill accepted. Then a lot of changes happened. Even that time, before the voting day, we organized a parliamentarian sensitization. We asked our community, we requested the parliamentarian, why you support the bill. Next day, all the political party, irrespective of political things, everybody supported the bill. Then later on there are some changes. It took 3 years to come out with that. This is the one of the Like Today program. Even they went to 2014 in Kerala, they said there is no stigma discrimination in Kerala. Even if you read this CID-AP report, they said zero discrimination. We interpret it different way. Why zero discrimination means all are go to either Bangalore or Mumbai. There is no trust. They are all men dress. That is why no stigma. We interpret such a way. Then they accepted the first sensation program started with the police. He is the possibly he was the human rights commissioner also that time. That was the eye opener. Complete. Now today Kerala is the #1 state for many of the policy level changes. Tamil Nadu was earlier #1. Even today Kerala is #1. Only one state come out with transgender policies, that is only Kerala. None of the state have, even today, none of the state have any policies. Which are,
Odisha, Meghalaya also.
yeah, that's very recent.
2017.
What are the main features of that policy, sir, in Kerala? Main features.
Many teachers almost like a transgenders PG they builds and all, but they have their own forum and almost similar to transgender board. But the policy is part of their regular program. It is coming under planning commission. They have allocated that time around 66 crores or something like that, exclusive for that. So that whether it is board or not, that is part of the regular program, like that. So that now I think as of today around more than 12 state compose the DG welfare board. But even today with support of disability department in AP, we are also expecting very soon for the DG welfare board. Then there are more than Kerala, I think some of the justice board, there is separate cells for transgenders in Kerala. There are a lot of other economic programs also, G taxis and so many things. And also they have the only Kerala is come out with a different policy is transgender can reimburse their surgery even for the private doctors. Even if they go to surgery, go for the any private hospital, they get that reimbursed, and also they will get wage compensation for 6 months. That's it. That is unique in some of the way actually. Odisha, there are so many programs like legal aid, healthcare, studies care. Next slide. Now I come to AP. With the support of CDC, Center for Disease Control, who is our CDC, is Dr. Tarun is here, our program technical officer. With the support of them, we started our program project Aspecps in 2020. Thanks to AP government, particularly Director of Medical Education. He come out with a GO, forming a one-stop center, all medical colleges, with help desk. Now currently 9 districts, we started one-stop center. Almost common packages is available, all the comprehensive packages is available. This unique model here is, in the government there is community run center. Almost this center is run by the community. Second thing is there is a space at government medical college, can be called as health desk. So that as part of the mainstreaming healthcare services, they will refer to the health desk for accessing all the medical services. These community centers will link with all the departments, like the police, DALSA, then the given education department, so that even so many all government departments will be coordinated this program. HIV is main focus, but still this center is running like this. Even they allocated separate OP number. Some of the state, sorry, district. Next. Yeah, very recently we conducted judiciary officials training in AP. Then we also supported here, I think thanks to Madam to see come out with that transgender protection bill. This again it is one of the model actually for other state. So it should be replicated. Even I spoken to some of the people in Tamil Nadu also. I'm advocating this model there. So hope I think we'll get something. Even thanks to Perambar come out with helpline 109. Then we very recently got the order, but we are working closely with the DALSA. We expect one lawyer come for our one-stop center to give free legal education and also legal support. So that day, even in Kurnool, they give an official order very recently about 1 week back. Next slide. This is some of the Deputy Chief Minister of Women. She is in charge of the disability department too. Visited Visakhapatnam one-stop center. And also she is agreed to support every time we are Prasad is here to come out with the DG welfare board in AP. It is almost through very time we are, we hope so sometime we will get it very soon. Then we are very much supporting health ministers, come out with various health programs like Arogya Seva and other insurance programs, even prep for our AP. This is the only state come out with prep education for the HIV as part of the HIV. We would say thanks to the minister. And also some of our CDC teams visited, some of in Visakhapatnam, in the livelihood department is come out with supporting training. Recently, Visakhapatnam collected is certificates. Thanks to the government for all these things. Some of the IEC is some ID things, no? Simply we cannot apply. That's what I felt. So, some of the challenges here, I am with family, I have everything. The transgender who are away from the home, they are not accepted by the family. Sometimes, they, without informing the family, they present all their certificates with their family. They don't have any ID card. That is the challenge. So, if at all that is the reason we try to always go for when we talk about the welfare scheme, first you always emphasize on go for ID card. Either it start with post office come with some ID card, then ask them to go for the voter's ID. Using this, then you go for the Aadhaar card. Like that, we are promoting them. Another interesting thing is, until 2011, there is no gender balance in that none of the policies. Even today in AP, some of even for about 2-3 months back, I spoke with some of the hospitals also. Even go to OP, there is only 2 policies. I asked, already now we are after judgment, after act come, after 4 years. Now they said some of the hospitals they come out with them. Still, it is long way to go. What is 2 things? We have to sensitize our community. That is the reason we try to help our one-stop center. Whoever comes, first ask them to identify, arrange for the community to for the issue ID card. If get Aadhaar card, then all the benefits easily they will get it. I think I will answer your question, ma?
ID card requires Aadhaar card.
Yes. No, you can get a voter's ID, ma. Voter's ID and all, you can get it through some post office address you can get actually.
But the voter's ID will be in the old name and old gender.
Yeah, that is also there actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
మీరు మాట్లాడండమ్మా ఎందుకు ఎవరు ఎన్రోల్ చేయించుకోరు ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం అసలు
Yes, sir. Yes.
ప్రాబ్లం ఉందా లేకపోతే ఏమైనా బర్డన్స్ ఉన్నాయా లేకపోతే దానికి ఏమైనా చేయాలంటే నాకేం తెలియదు
అంటే మేడం ఇప్పుడు కొంతమంది శారీ మీద కాకుండా కొంతమంది పత్తి పట్ల మీద ఉంటుంది ఫ్యాన్షిప్ మీద ఉంటారు మేడం అలాంటి వాళ్ళకి ఆధార్ కార్డ్స్ వాటిలో ఇంకా చేంజెస్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల వాళ్ళు ఈ ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డ్స్ కి అప్లై చేసుకోలేకపోతున్నారు మేడం. తర్వాత వచ్చేసి సార్ చెప్పినట్టుగా చాలా వరకు ఇంట్లో తెలియకుండా పారిపోయి వచ్చేస్తాం కాబట్టి మా దగ్గర సపోర్టివ్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అనేవి ఏమీ లేకపోవడం వల్ల వాటి గురించి ఎక్కువగా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చూపించట్లేదు మేడం. అంటే సపోర్టివ్ గా ఏ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లేకపోవడం, కంపల్సరీ ఆధార్ కార్డ్స్
Self-declaration is as per the act. They can be parent
సెల్ఫ్ డిక్లరేషన్ వస్తుంది.
అవగాహన
ఎవరిని అప్రోచ్ కావాలో తెలియదు. అదే వీళ్ళకి చాలా మందికి చదువు తక్కువ వస్తుంది. ఇస్తే అందరూ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసుకుంటారు.
మేడం ఇంకొక ఇష్యూ ఏంటంటే అంటే ఎందుకు వాళ్ళు ఎన్రోల్ చేసుకోవట్లేదు. నేను రీసెర్చ్ మొదలుపెట్టినప్పుడు వెబ్సైట్ లో సెర్చ్ చేసినప్పుడు 1600 పెన్షన్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు అవుట్ ఆఫ్ 46,000 యాజ్ పర్ ది సెన్సస్. సో నేను డిపార్ట్మెంట్కి వెళ్ళి అడిగినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు అన్నది ఏంటంటే మేము వెళ్తున్నాము కానీ వాళ్ళు రావట్లేదు చేయించుకోవడానికి అని ఒక ఇష్యూ చెప్పారు. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే యాజ్ పర్ ది జియో యాక్చువల్లీ వీళ్ళ పెన్షన్ మొదలైంది విత్ ద ప్రీవియస్ చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్ చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు. దట్ టైమ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ 1500. ఆ 1500 పెన్షన్ ఇష్యూ చేసి వాళ్ళు జియో ఏం పెట్టారంటే వీళ్ళు పెన్షన్ తీసుకుంటే కనుక వీళ్ళు అడుకోవడానికి వెళ్ళకూడదు అని జియో పాస్ చేశారు. సో అది ఉండడం వల్ల వీళ్ళ మైండ్స్ లో ఏంటంటే సో అది ఉండడం వల్ల వీళ్ళు అప్లై చేసుకోవట్లేదు. అది ఉంది మేడం, జియో ఉంది కాబట్టి ఎవరు అప్లై చేసుకోలేదు. ఇప్పుడు లేదు అన్న విషయం వాళ్ళకి తెలియదు. అది ఉంది అనుకొని చాలా మంది కూడా అప్లై చేస్తారు.
There are 2 issues here. One is understand awareness among our community. Second thing is interpretation by our officials. That also there. So at least thanks to Madam organizing this to make I think like Ramki given that exact picture to you. So some of them always think that Transgender means only surgery. After surgery only they will be recognized as a transgender. It is not there as per the act.
Sir, here I have another doubt, sir. ఇప్పుడు మనకి రికార్డ్స్ ప్రకారము ఈ ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఓన్లీ 2000 ఆర్ బిలో 2000 వాట్ ఎవర్ లెట్ us presume 2000 ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. యాక్ట్ 2019 రూల్స్ 2020 యాక్ట్ సేస్ సెక్షన్ 18 పెనాల్టీస్ పీనల్ ప్రొవిజన్స్. ఇప్పుడు పీనల్ ప్రొవిజన్స్ ఈ యాక్ట్ అప్లై చేయాలంటే ఖచ్చితంగా దే హావ్ టు క్యారీ ది ఐడి కార్డ్, రైట్? సో
Self declaration.
yes sir.
Yeah.
So this I wanted to bring to the notice of all the officers, whether ID card is a must or self-declaration is enough. యాక్ట్ వర్తించాలంటే అమ్మ ఇప్పుడు ఎవరో ఒకరు నేనే ఉన్నాను, నేను అనుకున్నా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నా మీద ఏదో మొలెస్టేషన్ జరిగింది కానీ నా దగ్గర కార్డు లేదు, ఐడి కార్డు లేదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళగలమా లేదా? అంటే మా పోలీసులు కేసు రిజిస్టర్ చేయొచ్చా లేదా నా దగ్గర కార్డు లేనప్పుడు?
చేయొచ్చు మేడం.
Sir, Act says yes to go about. Act does not have any condition that this act applies to transgender persons only if the transgender person carried an identity card. Carrying the identity card is only during the course of investigation. మన ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆమె అతను ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని స్ట్రెంగ్థెన్ చేయడానికి మాత్రమే ఐడి కార్డు. కానీ సెల్ఫ్ డిక్లరేషన్ ఈజ్ ఇనఫ్ to prove that he is a transgender, right sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this has to be in the notice of all my officers of police department.
From BHS side, already we have 9 one-stop center. We are willing to collaborate with you. I can ask my team also to collaborate with you. You can organize a special drive or something, so that we have the order.
మేడం అది గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్లో చేసేటప్పుడు చాలా మందికి వాళ్ళకి ఎట్లా అప్లై చేసుకోవడానికి ఇప్పుడు ఏమి తెలియదు తీసుకోవడానికి రెడీ ఉన్నారు. మాట
Yeah, that's right. If you come out with some sort of the awareness program, I think Venkat, you can organize, you collaborate with the every district people.
We should have organized Pride March here.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought of doing it, but because of several other constraints, I couldn't do.
I told Venkat, I think this whole month,
Pride March.
Sure, man. Yes,
ma'am. Of June, we have done it.
maybe soon we can organize some big event or something.
We can wait for June, no, June 20.
We can create some other event and do it now. We not wait for another right month. Then we can start some sort of the.
From our side, whatever support we can do, we'll do.
Yeah, we certainly we will come out with you. We will very soon we will come as a special drive for enrolling the.
What Mr. Surya Raj is telling is, under willing unna sare procedure, they don't know the procedure.
Yeah.
So
No,
they
no.
are not taking the. Can we presume that? I'm really very sorry to be very harsh. చాలా harsh గా మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. Can we presume that government ఇచ్చే pension is just a peanuts, నాకు అవసరం లేదు అని అందుకు రావట్లేదా అనేది? That is another presumption. చెప్పండి.
సెల్ఫ్ డిక్లరేషన్ సెల్ఫ్ వర్కింగ్ చెప్తున్నారు కదా మేడం.
అమ్మా
ఇప్పుడున్న సిచ్యుయేషన్ లో టీజీ ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా పెన్షన్స్ రాని వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు మేడం.
అవును మేడం.
కంపల్సరీ టీజీ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ చేసిన ఒక మెడికల్
సర్టిఫికేట్స్ అవసరం.
ఎందుకంటే కరోనాకు బిఫోర్ మేమందరం ఫిజికల్ గా ఎగ్జామిన్ చేయబడ్డ వాళ్ళం మేడం. ఎగ్జామిన్ చేసి మాకు సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇచ్చారు. పాత గవర్నమెంట్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మాకు 1500 పెన్షన్ ఇచ్చారు. ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా పెన్షన్ పెట్టుకోవాలంటే కంపల్సరీ ఇన్కమ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కావాలి, క్యాస్ట్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కావాలి. మేము తల్లిదండ్రులు వదిలేసి వచ్చి
ఇంకా అమ్మ ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ డెప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్ టు స్పీక్. సార్ మీరు మాట్లాడాలి సార్. Yes, sir.
6-step validation.
Sir, అమ్మ ఒక నిమిషం నవ్య గారు. ఇప్పుడున్న డౌట్స్ అన్నిటికీ క్లారిఫికేషన్ రావాలి అంటే ద లాస్ట్ సెషన్ ఆఫ్ ద డే అండ్ మోస్ట్ అవైటెడ్ సెషన్ కూడా డెప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్ టి రవీంద్ర గారు.
There's one.
No sir, no. ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్లీ డౌట్స్ చాలా వచ్చినాయి. వారు ఏమంటున్నారు, సర్టిఫికేట్ యొక్క పెన్షన్ రావట్లేదు, వాట్ డెప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్ టి రవీంద్ర గారు, differently abled senior citizen and transgender welfare development government of ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్. వీరిని ఇప్పుడు ప్రభుత్వం నుంచి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ప్రభుత్వం నుంచి ఎట్లాంటి ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఉన్నాయి ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పర్సన్స్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ కోసం అనే దాని మీద మాట్లాడవలసిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను. యా ప్లీజ్. మీరు ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అయిపోయినా తీసుకుందాం. సార్ వచ్చారు.
ఓరల్గా చెప్పండి మీరు చెప్పండి.
ప్రెజెంటేషన్ ఏం లేదు కదా సార్? ప్రెజెంటేషన్ లేదు కదా, అది పైకి లిఫ్ట్ చేసేమా?
ఇక్కడ లైట్ వేస్తారా?
పైకి లిఫ్ట్ చేసే కదా, అది డిస్ప్లే లైట్ కూడా ఆన్ చేసి వాలిడేషన్ కూడా పనిచేస్తుంది.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. ఇది దాదాపు భక్తులందరూ రామకృష్ణ గారు, తర్వాత డిప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్ బిహెచ్ఎస్ వీళ్ళంతా ఎలాబొరేట్గా కవర్ చేశారు. నేను మాట్లాడవలసిన పెద్దగా ఏమీ లేదు, ఎందుకంటే చట్టం గురించి అన్ని సెక్షన్స్, దాంట్లో ఉన్న ఫెసిలిటీస్ అన్నీ కవర్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అయితే డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ద్వారా ఫెసిలిటేట్ చేయడానికి నేషనల్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పోర్టల్లో నమోదు చేసుకోవడానికి కష్టంగా ఉంది అని కొందరు చెప్పారు. జిల్లాలో అసిస్టెంట్ డైరెక్టర్ కార్యాలయం ఉంది, అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి చేసుకోవచ్చు. లేకపోతే సిబిఓస్ ఉన్నారు, ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ మీద పనిచేసే వాళ్ళు, కానీ విభిన్న ప్రతిభావంతులకి సంబంధించిన సిబిఓస్ కానీ వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినా కూడా వాళ్ళు ఫెసిలిటేట్ చేస్తారు. కాకపోతే వన్ స్టాప్ సెంటర్ కూడా వెళ్ళి చేసుకోవచ్చు. వన్ స్టాప్ సెంటర్ కూడా దాదాపు మెడికల్ కాలేజెస్ ఎక్కడెక్కడే ఉన్నాయి, అక్కడ హెల్ప్ డెస్క్ ఏర్పాటు చేయడం జరిగింది. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి కూడా వాళ్ళు ఫెసిలిటేషన్ చేస్తారు. ఇది నేషనల్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పోర్టల్లో. ఇది మామూలుగా అయితే ఇప్పుడు ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఉంటేనే ఆ ఫెసిలిటీస్ వస్తాయని ఏమీ లేదు. ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పర్పస్ స్కాలర్షిప్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అది ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని స్పెసిఫిక్గా ఏమి అక్కడ ఏం లేదు. నేషనల్ స్కాలర్షిప్స్, ప్రీ మెట్రిక్ పోస్ట్ మెట్రిక్ స్కాలర్షిప్స్లో ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ కానీ సెపరేట్గా ఏమీ లేదు. అందరూ వాళ్ళు మెన్ ఆర్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అని డిక్లేర్ చేసి స్కాలర్షిప్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఈ ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డు ఉంటేనే స్కాలర్షిప్ వస్తుందని ఏం లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఉదాహరణకి ఇప్పుడు మీకు చెప్పాను ఇందాక, less than 2000 persons are having the identity certificates, but pension వచ్చేసి 2212, and those who are not having the identity certificates also are sanctioned pension under YSR pension kanuka. So this is house కూడా ఇస్తున్నారు అఫోర్డబుల్ హౌసింగ్ కింద. ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర కొన్ని ఫిగర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఫిగర్స్ చెప్తాను. మరి అవి పెద్ద నేషనల్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పోర్టల్లో అప్లై చేసి సర్టిఫికేట్ తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు 1915, హౌసింగ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ 590 హౌజెస్ కట్టేసి ఇవ్వటం జరిగింది. అంటే దీస్ ఫిగర్స్ ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ 2014 to 23, నాట్ లేటెస్ట్ ఫిగర్స్. About 267 transgender formed 17 SHGs, self-help groups, and 119 transgender persons are given skill development training in Tirupati, motor driving, Kurnool or Guntur, Palnadu and Visakhapatnam, బ్యూటీషియన్ కోర్స్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే మా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ తరఫు నుంచి ప్రతి జిల్లాకి 10 లక్షలు బడ్జెట్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్స్ ఖర్చు పెట్టమనేసి ఇవ్వటం జరిగింది. దాంట్లో అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, స్కిల్ డెవలప్మెంట్కి ఈచ్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్కి 25,000 రూపీస్ అలొకేట్ చేశారు. సో ఈ అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్లో కూడా చాలామంది ట్రాన్స్జెండర్స్ పిలవడం జరుగుతుంది, కానీ వాళ్ళు రావట్లేదు. ఇక్కడ అదర్ వేగా ఉంది. మరి ఇక్కడ అక్కడ మేము వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వాళ్ళతో వెళ్ళి ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ కమ్యూనిటీ ఎక్కడైతే ఉంటారో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మీటింగ్ పెట్టి అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెడదాం రండి అంటే వాళ్ళు రావట్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు పెన్షన్స్ గురించి 3,000 పెన్షన్స్ అంటే వాళ్ళకి పెద్దగా ఏమీ అనిపించదు. ఎందుకంటే వీఆర్ అర్నింగ్ పర్ డే 10,000 అని అంటారు. వన్ ఆఫ్ ది కండిషన్ ఏంటంటే పెన్షన్ తీసుకోవాలంటే బెగ్గింగ్ మానేయాలి అనేసి డిక్లరేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి. కానీ పెన్షన్ డిక్లరేషన్ ఇస్తున్నారు కానీ మళ్ళీ మామూలుగానే బెగ్గింగ్కి వెళ్ళటం జరుగుతుంది. పెన్షన్ తీసుకుంటూ వాళ్ళు మరి జీవనాధారం ఇది 3,000తో మాకేం సరిపోతుందండి, ఎక్కడికి సరిపోతుంది, ఇది కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ లివింగ్ పెరిగిపోయింది ఇప్పుడు అనేసి వాళ్ళు యథావిధిగా బెగ్గింగ్కి వెళ్ళటం జరుగుతుంది. వైఎస్ఆర్ పెన్షన్ కింద 3,000 ఇస్తున్నారు కదండి, దానికి ఇది ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కంపల్సరీ ఏం కాదు. చాలామంది ట్రాన్స్జెండర్స్కి రేషన్ కార్డు కూడా ఇచ్చారు, వాళ్ళు కూడా ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ సర్టిఫికేట్స్ ఏం లేవు. డైరెక్ట్ పీడిఎస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు అడుగుతున్నారు. అది టేకప్ చేస్తామండి, సివిల్ సప్లైస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ టేకప్ చేస్తాం. పెన్షన్లో వచ్చేసి మీరు అన్నారు కదా, చాలామందికి ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఉన్నా కూడా పెన్షన్ రావట్లేదు అనేసి.
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఇష్యూ చేయట్లేదు కదా సార్. ఒకవేళ అది కంపల్సరీ అంటే కనుక తదితర ఆరోగ్య శాఖ అధికారులకు మీరు ఒక
ఏమి ఇష్యూ చేయట్లేదమ్మా?
ఇప్పుడు ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ సర్టిఫికేట్స్ ఇష్యూ చేయట్లేదు కదా సార్.
లేదు, చేస్తున్నారు కదా.
మెడికల్ సర్టిఫికేట్ సార్, ఫస్ట్ లో గవర్నమెంట్ హాస్పిటల్ ఫిజికల్ గా చెకప్ చేసి మాకు సర్టిఫికేట్స్ ఇచ్చారు.
అది నల్సా జడ్జ్మెంట్ తర్వాత అది మానేశారు. ఇప్పుడు నేషనల్ పోర్టల్లో నుంచే ఇస్తున్నారు, అదే ఐడెంటిటీ.
ఐడి కార్డ్ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ ఇన్ కేసు మెడికల్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కంపల్సరీ అంటే కనుక ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఇష్యూ చేశారు. సార్ దాంతో పాటు ఈ క్యాస్ట్ సర్టిఫికేట్, ఇన్కమ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా కంపల్సరీ అడుగుతున్నారు సార్. ఈవెన్ సచివాలయ ఏరియాస్ లో కూడా మా అప్లికేషన్స్ ఎవరు తీసుకోవట్లేదు సార్. మాకు ఇప్పుడు నేను బిహెచ్ఎస్ లో గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్లో ఓఆర్డబ్ల్యూ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను సార్. నేను వాళ్ళు ఏ విషయం వాళ్ళు ఈ మొబిలైజేషన్ లో పాటుగా వాళ్ళు అడుగుతున్న ఈ సోషల్ ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ లో ఈ ప్రాబ్లం అనేది మేము ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నాం సార్. ప్రతి టీజీ కూడా మేము కంపల్సరీ మేము ఈ అప్లికేషన్ తీసుకొని సచివాలయానికి వెళ్తే కంపల్సరీ ఇవన్నీ అడుగుతున్నారు. టీజీలకి క్యాస్ట్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది, బై భర్త తల్లిదండ్రుల దగ్గర నుంచి కానీ అన్నదమ్ముల నుంచి కానీ వాళ్ళ సర్టిఫికేట్ సపోర్టివ్ గా కొత్త ఇష్యూ చేస్తారు సార్. తల్లిదండ్రులే మమ్మల్ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయనప్పుడు మాకు పాత అన్నదమ్ములవి తల్లిదండ్రులవి ఆ సర్టిఫికేట్స్ మాకు ఎలా వస్తాయి సార్? కొంచెం దాని గురించి కూడా మీరు కొంచెం దృష్టి పెట్టండి.
ఇది స్పెసిఫిక్ కేసెస్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే మనం టేకప్ చేయగలం. ఇది జనరలైజ్ చేసి మాట్లాడితే వాళ్ళు సచివాలయం డిపార్ట్మెంట్తో మనం మాట్లాడినప్పుడు ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే మేము క్యాస్ట్ సర్టిఫికేట్ వెరిఫికేషన్ చేసి ఇష్యూ చేస్తున్నామని చెప్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు పెన్షన్స్ ఎందుకు శాంక్షన్ చేయట్లేదంటే దెర్ ఈజ్ ఎ సిస్టమ్ ఆఫ్ 6 స్టెప్ వ్యాలిడేషన్. ఆ 6 స్టెప్ వ్యాలిడేషన్లో ఫైనల్ అవుతేనే పెన్షన్ వస్తుంది. అక్కడ ల్యాండు, హౌసింగ్ ఏరియా, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ బిల్లు, ఇవన్నీ కొన్ని పారామీటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్. సో ఆ 6 స్టెప్ వ్యాలిడేషన్లో మీరు రాకపోతే పెన్షన్ మంజూరు కాదు. తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు విహెచ్ఎస్ డిప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్ గారు కవర్ చేశారు ఇది ఎస్ఆర్ఎస్ సర్జరీస్ గురించి. అది ఒక యుఓ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేయడం జరిగింది. గవర్నమెంట్ హెల్త్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ వెల్ఫేర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నుంచి యుఓ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేశారు. దాని ప్రకారంగా to set up separate human immunodeficiency virus serosurveillance centers to conduct serosurveillance for such persons in accordance with guidelines issued by the National AIDS Control Organization in this behalf. It is AP SACS వాళ్ళకి అప్పచెప్పారు. They will come up to provide for medical care facility including sex reassignment surgery and hormonal therapy. డైరెక్టర్ మెడికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్కి రిపోర్ట్ చేశారు. ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే దే ఆర్ ఆస్ టు గివ్ ద రిపోర్ట్ విదిన్ 15 days వాట్ యాక్షన్ దే ఆర్ టేకెన్. 15 days అయిపోయింది. మీరు అన్నట్టు త్వరలోనే అవన్నీ ఫెసిలిటీస్ దే విల్ ఎఫెక్ట్. ఈ ఎస్ఆర్ఎస్ సర్జరీ కోసం వైఎస్ఆర్ ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ వాళ్ళకి రాయటం జరిగింది. వాళ్ళు ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ కింద కవర్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఎస్ఆర్ఎస్ ఏదైతే కాస్ట్ ఉన్నది అమలు వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటి ఎస్ఆర్ఎస్కి ఏ హాస్పిటల్లో చేస్తారనేది ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి జరిగితే అది అమలు వచ్చేస్తుంది. చేసి
ఒకటి కర్నూలు మెడికల్ కాలేజ్లో ఐదర్ గుంటూరు అండ్ విజయవాడ అండ్ వైజాగ్. సో ఇఫ్ వి ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ దీస్ హాస్పిటల్స్ మనం ఎంటైర్ స్టేట్ కవర్ చేసినట్టు ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి అంటే ఈ ఎస్ఆర్ఎస్ కాలేజ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో అన్ని ఎంక్వైరీ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. ఈ గుంటూరు, కర్నూలు అండ్ వైజాగ్లో ఈ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ అన్ని ఎండోక్రైనాలజిస్ట్, ప్లాస్టిక్ సర్జన్, సైకియాట్రిస్ట్, ఆల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ కావాలి. అన్ని 3 డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. త్వరలో సార్ కూడా అన్ని టేకప్ చేస్తున్నారు. అలాంటి ఒకసారి 15 days సార్ అన్నట్టు అప్డేట్స్ వస్తారు.
ఇవన్నీ నోట్స్ మాకు ప్రీవియస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ సెక్రటరీ మేడం అనురాధ గారు ఐపీఎస్ గారు వారి ఆధ్వర్యంలో ఉన్నప్పుడే ఇవన్నీ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేయడం జరిగింది. వాట్ ఆల్ ది ప్రొవిజన్స్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ది ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ యాక్ట్ ఫర్ దేర్ who are eligible, all these notes were issued fortunately by our former principal secretary Anuradha IPS గారు. అన్నీ notes చేశారు. సో ఇప్పుడు అవన్నీ కార్యరూపం దాల్స్తున్నాయి. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం. స్టేట్ కౌన్సిల్కి ప్రపోజల్స్ అయితే పంపించడం జరిగింది. అది గవర్నమెంట్లో పెండింగ్ ఉంది. ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ వెల్ఫేర్ బోర్డ్ అన్నారు కదా, దట్ ఈస్ పెండింగ్ ఇన్ ది గవర్నమెంట్. ఐ థింక్ some of the officials also need to be given
what department is yet to give their comments. It is also whether these people following that the department that is from 3 months leave or so that we are waiting for them.
We are constantly pursuing with the government, all the principal secretaries, even the CMO also, but we need some more support.
Given a concept note, they ask so many questions. We send it through police budget side. There's so many things. Keep on asking some questions. Sending all the answers to SACS.
So my request is only all the officers for transgender related, you can approach the assistant director office in all the districts. They will facilitate for issuing of the transgender certificates and what all the provisions they will facilitate. Thank you.
More request again from our community side from AP.
Okay.
Please arrange some special drive or something from each district through your officials. PHS One-Stop Center really will cooperate, help them to, we have every center, see have a computer and everything. We help them to ID card and so many other. So you please organize some sort of a campaign more.
Okay, we'll organize special drive with the help of VHS in all the districts.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
On behalf of Andhra Pradesh Police CID Transgender Persons Protection Cell, we thank Deputy Director, Differently Abled Senior Citizen and Transgender Welfare Department, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for their collaboration with CID in conducting this program, and also for taking a presentation on the different welfare schemes which are provided by Government of Andhra Pradesh for the transgender community. Thank you, Shri Ravindra Garu. Thanks for your presentation. ఇంకెవరన్నా దీని గురించి ఒక 5 minutes, ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ సిస్టర్ అమిత ఇఫ్ షీ వాంట్స్ టు యాడ్ సంథింగ్, యూ కెన్ టేక్ 5 minutes if you want to add anything, or if you want to bring something to the notice of our police officers. There is also SP prisons also. వారి నోటీస్లోకి ఏమైనా తీసుకెళ్లాలనుకుంటే, బికాస్ డాక్టర్ అండ్ సిస్టర్ అమిత ఇస్ షీ హ్యాస్ డన్ హర్ PhD in transgender issues, so she would like to speak few words.
Respected dignitaries, I would like to bring to the police department notice. Through our research, we have found that most of the places police are not aware of these transgender issues. Few cases are like when they come to the police station, ఒరే అని పిలవడం, నువ్వు ఆడాడో మగవాడో అప్రూవ్ చేయడం, ఇట్లాంటి రీసెర్చ్లో చాలా మంది చెప్పడం జరిగింది. So my humble request to all of you is kindly consider them as human beings. And when they come and say that they are transgender persons, kindly consider it. Now, by now, you might have understood self-identification and they identify themselves as transgender persons. Kindly consider. And వాళ్ళు ఏదైనా కేసు ఏదైనా హరాస్మెంట్ వచ్చి కంప్లైంట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు దయచేసి తీసుకోండి. ఒక కేసు చెప్తాను నేను. ఒక ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పర్సన్ ఫ్రమ్ విశాఖపట్నం. Some few of the men were molested her in the bus stand when she was waiting for the bus. She went to the nearby police station and she complained about this case. They tried to write something, they didn't really file the case. Then that particular police asked him from which area you belong, and then he told he will drop her. And he took her, and on the way he molested her. I don't want to take the name of the police officer or whoever it is, but kindly consider them as human beings. Yesterday I was waiting at the bus stand to come to Guntur. And then when police was chasing a transgender person with a lathi, he was actually about to beat her. Why is she sitting there? What is her need to be there? ఇంకా అవన్నీ పక్కన పెట్టేసి ఒక ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ అక్కడ కూర్చుందని చెప్పి లాఠీ పట్టుకొని తనని చేస్ చేశారు లోపలికి. సో కైండ్లీ అండర్స్టాండ్ దేర్ డిఫికల్టీ. వాళ్ళు రోడ్ల మీదకి వస్తున్నారు అని అంటే నాట్ దట్ జస్ట్ దే వాంట్ టు డూ సెక్స్ వర్క్ ఆర్ దే వాంట్ టు బెక్ మనీ అండ్ ఎంజాయ్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్. We don't know their pathetic stories and the need of money that they are earning for. You don't know the reasons. So kindly consider them as human beings. And ఇట్లాంటి కేసులు వచ్చి మీ దగ్గరికి అప్రోచ్ అయినప్పుడు ప్లీజ్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్, డోంట్ హర్ట్ దెమ్ అగైన్. అండ్ వాళ్ళకి తెలుసు పోలీస్ స్టేషన్స్కి వెళ్తే సాల్వ్ అవ్వదు అన్న ఒకలాంటి ఏమంటారు అది వచ్చేసింది వాళ్ళ మైండ్లో. సో కైండ్లీ ప్రొటెక్ట్ దెమ్ లైక్ యూ ప్రొటెక్ట్ ఎనీ అదర్ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్స్. And consider their cases. Even if you don't write FI or anything, something like that, at least threaten the person who is harassing them. That is, with that, they will get a kind of good intention that police force is there to protect them. Like that is my humble request. And when they come to the prisons or anything, somebody was actually noticing how to identify these people or thing like that. I mean, we don't need to go for physical checkup. But if at all they identify themselves, you need to consider. The second thing is they all will have identity card. Now mostly Visakhapatnam, most of them are getting their identity cards. And if they say that they don't have identity card, maybe could consult with all these people are in the culture. Actually, the people that you see on the roads from Hijra culture people. If we call them transgender, they don't like, because transgenders are different from Hijra culture people. If we see them on the roads as Hijra culture people, they have separate culture, tradition, practices and celebrations. The way they adopt the new members into their community, their family system, their celebration. Once they do their surgery, they have a Jalsa celebration. It's it's entirely different setup. So that's why when we call them transgenders, they don't like. But whereas other people, those who are with the family, born as boys, identify themselves as girls or vice versa, come under transgender category. But the people we see mostly in the society outside begging or doing sex work are from Hijra culture. I would like to bring to your notice that from our research or from the people when we spoke, we understood that they believe that it is a traditional occupation. Traditional occupation is that they're from the Hijra culture people. They learned and they taught, they teach to that coming generations of those who are in their culture to how to do the begging and how to do the sex work. It is part of their culture. So to stop all that, it will take time, but it is not, you need to understand that it is not that they want to get into these kind of things, but in a way culture is enforcing them to get into these kind of things. And second thing is, they don't have any other support to get out of these kind of things. No education, no family, no societal support, no one gives them jobs, no one gives them houses for rent. So somehow they get somewhere for rent a house and they have to pay double the amount. So they have to pay the rents, they have to survive by themselves. So many things are involved to get to do these works and support themselves. So if government could come up with some things which can help them, like sustainable livelihood opportunities or reservations in government jobs or something like that, then we could help them to get out of this begging or sex work, and we can help them to empower themselves. So that's all I would like to.
Thank you, Dr. Amita. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I think if like this, if you organize some sort of the police sensation program at all levels, that will be great help actually, so that people will understand about their issues, problem, so that they will protect it from all the issues. Even I would suggest even there is a model coming out we promoted in the police academy. We developed trainers on master trainers on gender sensation training. If you develop a cadre in police academy itself, you continuously give a training for others on gender aspect. Second thing is already there every district there is a sex or women service one-stop center is there. Sagi center is there. If you integrated with there, actually even some of the center visited, even we requested whether transgender can allow those. Even there is a police, all the violence as a human rights perspective. If you integrated these also, more community will get benefit. It is one more humble request for every one of you. Please, after this sensation program, whenever you meet transgenders, please take them as your sister or your daughter. That is my comment.
Thank you. One more point I would like to add regarding the transgender certificates. As per the Act, within 1 month they are supposed to get once we apply for the cards. But most of the districts it is taking 5 months and 6 months. Still, it is in process going on. So I would my humble request to the sir to kindly look into this issue. And the second thing is regarding the pensions. So they say that parents are into government jobs, so transgenders will not get. But 90% of the transgenders are out of the families. So by seeing parents are having a pension or a government job, you cannot deny pension for transgender persons because they are not into family system. And the other thing is they are separating from the family. So other siblings, those who are there, they are getting married and separating from their ration card, whatever it is. But these people are not able to separate from the family because someone should be there, it seems, with the family, so they are not able to get this separate ration card. So kindly look into that pension and ration thing. And last one thing I want to tell is when you see transgender persons, till now maybe we might have showed a kind of aversion towards them or we try to turn our face. So each one of us has the responsibility to respect our own fellow human being. And see, sometimes they will ask me how to address them. So if they are in female dress, kindly address them as sister or based on their age, aunt or whichever it is. So female pronouns only they like. So kindly consider it and call them with that pronouns so that they will be the happiest person. And smile at them. At least now you start smiling when you look at them so that they understand that society started to accept them as human beings. So kindly do that when you go out. Speak to many more other people. Here maybe 100. You can talk to 100 more people. They can talk to 100 more. So slowly this awareness will spread across Andhra Pradesh and wherever it is. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Amma.
much, Madam.
Thanks, Amma. Thank you so much. Definitely, we will do the same. I request Deputy Director Transgender and Differently Abled Welfare to please come on to the dais to felicitate VHS Dr. Vijay Raman Garu as well as Program Manager. I also request Mr. Rahul, SP Prisons, also to join the felicitation. We have to felicitate the resource persons from VHS. Now I request Dr. Vijay Raman, Deputy Director, Voluntary Health Services, to accept our small felicitation. I also request Program Manager Venkat to please come over to the dais to receive a small felicitation. Please, Madhula. I'll give the moment. ఇక్కడికి చూస్తున్నారు బ్యాక్ డ్రాప్ అది ఈవెంట్ చూస్తున్నాడు ఆయన దానికోసం ఆయన అడ్జస్ట్ ఉండదు ఇంకా ఉండండి మీరు ఇట్లా వచ్చింది Thank you so much. Thanks to Deputy Director, sir, as well as Mr. Rahul, SP Prisons. You would like to speak something? Yeah, please go ahead. I request SP Prisons, Mr. Rahul, to give away his message.
Thank you, madam, and giving this opportunity. And I worked in around 16 years of service my in prisons, and I see number of transgenders coming to my prisons. At my end is different from what you see your end. My end is almost police personnel has registered a case and then came to me. Then I have to protect them. These are the things come to me. So whatever transgenders come to prison, what we do is, first of all, we have to identify it. Because without identification, we can't keep them either men or female barrack. Thus things comes on. After that, after identification, in general, all these acts came into 2014 or like this. But before that, any transgenders coming to my prison, in general, we keep in the separate barrack. We don't mingle with the either men or female, actually. Of late, we actually attended UNODC union program at Chennai, and then we found so many acts and so many issues, and then we started implementing those issues, and we started mingle with the whatever gender it is. As per statistics shows that we have around 2021. This was statistics given by NCRB, National Crime Bureau record, and it's almost men in prisons is almost 5,30,000. Females are 22,000 only, and transgenders are only 91. So it shows that crime committed by transgenders are very less. And at present, as on today, we have only one transgenders in Visakhapatnam. And I have a peculiar interaction with that transgenders. She was transgender female, Actually, he came to admission at my jail at Visakhapatnam when I am there at SP Visakhapatnam Central Jail. So we kept in a separate barrack, and as SARS told, we want to inspect that person, and then we want to separate actually whatever maybe. So problem is that we don't have a female doctor. That's a problem. So we heard from somebody, Apollo Hospital, and then female doctor came and then inspected, and then we kept them in a female ward. For 2 days she cried cried for just because of she don't want to be with men, and it's not men, it's a separate barrack only. But this is the rarest situations that we get actually. And apart from it, different identification, we like identify a female or male in a like a doctor identification, one superintendent identification, different facial expressions and the body, and also, and for that infrastructure, we have a good infrastructure, like we keep them in a different barracks. And as you said, it's a self-identification we have started actually. I have been sensitized by me, and then I will give a note to our DG sir, and then he, sir will circulate to entire department. Apart from it, earlier we have a male and female, we have a project called PMIS, Prisoners Management Information System, wherein male and female two only will be there, and it was changed to 3 others, it was kept in others. Next, the same thing, we used to do the same interviews as communication with the